Good evening, I'm Duke Root, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. The Nebraska Baseball 2025 schedule was announced today, which features 25 home games at Haymarket Park. When asked about the schedule, Coach Will Bolt said, quote, "We have a challenging schedule that will give our program the opportunity to compete against some of the top teams in college baseball." In the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs signed veteran running back Kareem Hunt today after starting running back Isaiah Pacheco went down with a broken fibula on Sunday. Hunt spent the past 5 seasons with the Cleveland Browns and was a Pro Bowler with the Chiefs in his rookie season back in 2017. 15 games in the MLB tonight, including Royals hosting the Tigers, Astros at the Padres, Mariners versus the Yankees, and the Phillies facing the Brewers. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Coming up next is Hour 1 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
One wide out to the near side. Emmett's the back. Snap back to Raiola. Looking, holding. Throws over the middle. Down the middle. Pass caught. That's going to be a Nebraska touchdown. Isaiah Nair finds the end zone on a pass over the middle. 13-3 Big Red. Tight formation. Turn. Toss it off to a little end around by Barney. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown Nebraska. Jacory Barney slips in there, taking the pitch on the end around from 10 yards out. Nebraska stretches the lead to 20-3. Motion toward the line of scrimmage. Fake the handoff, roll the pocket to the near side. Looking downfield as a man open downfield, but shoots it too high, and it's picked off. Intercepted Malcolm Hartzog. 10 up to the 14-yard line as Malcolm Hartzog out of the 19 as he goes and start the mashed potatoes dance. Huskers get a pick.
Marathon rally early in the 5th. Set behind Barrett. Oh, the dig goes sideways. Point Nebraska. Merritt Basin, visibly fatigued, leaps in the air, gives it her all, and the dig gets shanked to the right. It's 5-1 Big Red in the 5th.
Now, here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe has the night off tonight. So we do have the Nebraska football show, the Husker football show coming up for you tonight. Ed Foley, special teams coordinator, will be joining us. But because of the scheduling this week, and we have the big matchup between Nebraska and Stanford volleyball coming up tomorrow night on our airwaves. Typically, we have the Husker football show on Wednesdays, but again, since we don't have a show tomorrow night, we're having the football show tonight. And with the scheduling and meetings and all of that, Coach Foley is not able to be here with us until about 6:30 or so, and then he's going to join us into the 7 o'clock hour for a little bit there as well. So we will have Coach Foley joining us at just a little bit different scheduling tonight. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently here to get rolling. I'm going to have a couple of shorter segments at the beginning so we have more time with Coach Foley at the end of the hour. But 402-413-2400 if you want to get those texts in, those questions for Coach Foley. I know he loves to hear from you guys, and so we will be getting answers for him coming up here in just about 25 minutes or so. But we did want to start off and bring you a little bit of today's press conference. Both the coordinators met with the media once again today. So we start with Tony White, the defensive coordinator, and he was asked about just overall how he evaluated the defensive performance on Saturday in the win over UNI.
I mean, even when you win, I mean, and it's cool, right? It's a catch-22 because on one hand, you won the game, you held the team to 3 points. Who, I mean, they're a good football. They're gonna make some noise. They're a good football team, and you hold them to 3 points. You hold them to 4 yards of play and all that kind of stuff, and yet you can feel that it wasn't as like exciting, you know what I mean? And again, part of that is going back in there and say, hey guys, I know the standard wasn't met in terms of what we do, but let's understand in the grand scheme of things, I think everybody in here would have taken a 34-3 victory over a team like that. You know what I mean? Hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts. You know what I mean? Because we've played, in my prior history, there's plenty of times where we played great and lost. You know what I mean? So The number one is to get the win, and then number two, it's what attitude are you going to have? Like, hey, we clean up these things, do the things we're supposed to do, and namely practice and really dive into the process, then we'll have a chance to play even better this coming Friday. So
I've just loved the tone that's been set by this defense and just their response from Saturday. And Coach Rule said the same thing. We heard Coach White just saying it there that, hey, we just gave up a field goal, 3 points, 34-3, but there were certain areas of how we played in that game, despite the win, that we are not okay with. It's not up to our standard. And so, they were quick to point it out. It was after that first drive. Some of the defensive leaders, Isaac Gifford, Ty Robinson, those guys pulled the group together as a whole, and they had a meeting after that first series, and they wanted to improve and get better, and felt like they were better in the second half. But also just going into this week, practices this week, I chatted with Ty Robinson today, and he said, yeah, there's a sense of urgency, and we're being vocal about it. We want to make sure that we are taking care of business so we get that corrected and we don't have another issue like we had on Saturday in terms of just the yards after catch and getting guys to the ground and all of that. So I love it. I love that they have a standard and that they were not happy despite only giving up 3 points. There's a lot of teams in America that would be A-okay with that. But this defense just has a different kind of standard this year. Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavor abilities. All right, Coach White was asked about Tommy Hill and how he will match up against the Illinois wide receivers, but just overall, Tommy's growth as a defensive back and just what he provides back there in the secondary for this defense.
And anytime you got corners, I mean, that's the number one deal, right? When you want to play great defense, you got to be able to cover on the outsides and you got to be able to rush the passer. So, everyone is happy for Tommy just because of the adversity he's gone through, since his time here, and the maturity aspect, like not only is he doing good things on the grass, for his teammates and for himself, but he's doing a lot of great things off the field, where you see the maturity, you see the growth, you see him loving being around the guys, you see him just kind of handling business. So those are the things that you really take back to what Coach is saying about culture and process. Those are the things, the Tommy Hills and how far they've come. Those are the things that of how you measure culture and process.
Love stories like that, and just from my perspective and the growth that I've seen a little bit from watching Tommy on the sidelines from where he was a couple years ago to where he is now, it's just his demeanor is completely different, the way he's carrying himself and just the confidence that he's playing with and the belief. He's always been a confident guy, but I think, just the way that he's carrying himself now and just the buy-in that he has with this defense and Coach Rule, Coach White, and so, and he is very well liked. And it's also fun to hear the wide receivers' perspective on Tommy Hill, because I know they have some battles and matched up with Tommy, but they always say how much they like going up against him in practice, even though he might chirp and he's going to be competitive, but it makes them better by facing a guy like Tommy Hill. But love to hear just about the growth and the progress and maturity and just buying into the culture, and you hear a lot of those stories with Coach Rule and this staff. Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Okay, let's work in a quick break here and come back and hear from Coach Satterfield and a little bit from Dylan Raiola as they prepare for the matchup with Illinois. And then we will have Coach Foley again joining us here about 6:30, so keep it here.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentor.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Pioneer brand Z Series soybeans have farmers yielding out an additional 2.7 bushels per acre over A Series. This has everyone talking, not just farmers. Case in point, a trucking company wrote, "Morning, noon, and night, it doesn't matter. I'm hauling Z Series. The phone doesn't stop ringing. Even my home number, it never stops ringing." Well, it's fair to say Pioneer brand Z Series soybeans are making quite an impact. Unleash your greatest harvest yet at pioneer.com/greatest yields.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now get 1.9% financing for 36 months on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. Enroll in CVA's Go Early Seed program and maximize your purchasing power with 1 year of 0% financing for seed and crop protection. Register for a chance to win Husker football tickets when you enroll in CVA's Go Early Seed program by October 18th. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue!
Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubmaker here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty you have.
Call 402-391-2336.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
As a farmer, challenges arise daily. With a new enhanced Channel seed brand, you can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Welcome back to our Husker football show. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe has the night off tonight. If you missed it in the first segment, we do have Special Teams Coordinator Ed Foley joining us here in just a few minutes, here about 10 minutes or so, just with the changing of the schedule and the short week and all of that. Pushed it back a little bit, but he will be joining us into the 7 o'clock hour. I see some of those texts rolling in that we will make sure and ask Coach Foley when he gets here, 402-413-2400. But did want to get back to our practice report and hearing from the coordinators today who met with the media. We just heard from a couple clips from Tony White, and so let's talk offense and hear from Marcus Satterfield. And up first, he was asked about just the challenge of facing the Illini defense.
I think they're very talented. They got some guys on the back end that's played a lot of football. Their linebackers have played a lot of football. They got a very physical and lengthy, front five that they play with. It's going to be tough to move the line of scrimmage. So we got to be ready for a fist fight on Friday night when it comes in terms of running the football and trying to move the line of scrimmage. They're always going to have an extra hat in the box. They play a lot of man coverage. One of the things that that shows up is a little bit more zone this year than they played in the past. So it's something we've got to be ready for. But the scheme is excellent. The players are playing really well. They're taking the ball away. I think they're +9 turnover margin right now. So we have to come in ready for a fight. We got to be physical. We got to take care of the football.
Well, one of the really highlights and special moments from the win over UNI was when they called in Heinrich Harburg to be a part of the offense, and he just got a huge roar from the crowd. Got a chance to chat with him after the game, and he said how special it was. And remember when they officially named Dylan the starter, and Coach Satterfield got up there in his press conference and said that Heinrich was, hey, find ways to get me involved. And so we saw those wrinkles against UNI, and he's just such a talented athlete, and so gives Coach Satterfield another weapon to throw out there and utilize, and, hey, make it even harder for defenses to try to figure out what this offense is going to do and who they're going to get the ball to. So here is Coach Satterfield on finding ways to get Heinrich Harburg involved and utilize Harburg in the offense.
Yeah, we just keep working, just trying to keep, like writing a movie throughout the year, like the different ways that we can utilize Heinrich. Obviously, he's a very big, explosive athlete that can do many things. It was good to see him get out there, catch the ball. I mean, it was a pressure look, so there was a certain technique that needed to occur for him to get open, and he was able to do that because I think playing quarterback, he knew what it should, how fast it should happen and where he should be. So that was good to see.
Okay, we've heard Coach Rule talk a lot about being boring in the fourth quarter and having a lead and maintaining that lead and playing good defense and running the football. And so Coach Satterfield was asked, how do you balance that? How do you balance wanting to maintain a lead, being boring, but then also being aggressive with the play calling?
We're going to be, and we can be aggressive whenever it's needed. The ultimate the offensive coordinators, most of the time we want yardage. I really don't care about stats and things of that nature. We just want to win the game. We take pride in being physical in the fourth quarter. We have certain goals we try to achieve as an offense and a defense in the fourth quarter of football games because that's where the game is won. That's where you put people away. So we'll never stray. Never stray away from that. But if there's ever a time for us to have to be aggressive all the way through the fourth quarter, we 100% will be able to do that.
One of the things that Coach Satterfield was asked about that we don't have time to get to here today, but I did want to bring up was just he was asked about, the long lull after the offense comes out, scores a quick quick touchdown, and then the defense, the UNI offense goes on the really long drive, over a 10-minute drive, and the offense having to sit there for so long. And then when they did finally get back out there, they fired back right away and were able to get right back out on the field and put another touchdown on the board. And he said it was a big step in maturity for us, how we handled that, how we were ready to go. And I saw it on the sideline, and I think it was great to see how the offense handled that kind of situation, and it was good to see and good to build off of for them. Okay, how about the QB? We've heard a lot about how well he's prepared and how well he's handled everything up until this point, but Dylan Raiola also was at the podium today, and he was asked how he's going about preparing for entering into Big Ten play.
Just watch the tape. I think that's, it's going to be physical 9 games that we play. It starts Friday. But, like going back to what I said, it's everyone's preparing the same way that we have for UTEP, Colorado, and UNI. Everything's been preparing us for this moment, and I know our guys will be ready to answer the bell.
Yeah, it's the more that we go along with him as the quarterback, the more impressed you get with just, and he knows that it's not just about him, but he wants to do his part, and he wants to be prepared and be ready, but he also knows that he's going to rely on the guys around him. So I have just been so impressed with how he's navigated everything so far. So got a big one coming up on Friday. Can't wait to see how he attacks Illinois and the game plan there. Okay, it is time for this week's Alumni Hall, Husker Alumni of the Week. We always tailor it towards the coach that we're talking to and the position group that we're talking to. So it's special teams tonight. Any guesses on which special teams play we're going to go back and revisit?
Senior T.J. O'Leary to snap it. Senior Jake West to put it down. Alex Henry to try to put the Huskers in front with 1:50 left in the game. Ball right on the end. The snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good! Makes it in there! 57 yards out of school record to put the Huskers in front, 33-31.
That's right. If you guessed Alex Henry, the 57-yard game-winning field goal against Colorado in 2008, that is our Alumni Hall. Husker Alumni of the Week. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. All right, we are going to work at another break here, but coming up on the other side of this, we should be joined by Special Teams Coordinator Ed Foley here on our Husker Football Show. And again, keep those texts coming in, 402-413-2400. We're back with more coming up.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, a.k.a. fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Akrs Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Akrs Equipment, solutions for every field.
The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester is the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. More distinctive style, more advanced safety technology, and always the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Love begins with trust. Visit Duteau Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at duteausubaru.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Tune in to the 12th annual Team Jack Radiothon presented by the Home Agency on September 26 to raise funds for childhood brain cancer research. Childhood brain cancer is a devastating disease affecting 5,000 children each year. Current treatments are over 40 years old and leave children with lifelong deficits. Team Jack is working to change this. Become a champion for a cure for just $20 a month. Every dollar counts towards discovering new treatments and ultimately saving young lives. Visit teamjackfoundation.org to donate. Your contribution matters more than ever.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
I have reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue!
Nebraska defensive lineman Nat Sharpe here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty you can.
Call 402-391-2336.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
As a farmer, challenges arise daily. With the new enhanced Channel seed brand, you can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Welcome back to the show. I'm Jessica Coody, and Greg Sharpe has a night off tonight. We are still awaiting the arrival of Special Teams Coordinator Ed Foley. So as we do, I did get a chance to chat with Ty Robinson today. We have that interview ready? Okay, so we will go ahead and hear from Ty Robinson and then hopefully give Coach Foley a few more minutes to get here. I'm Jessica Coody here with this week's Old Dominion Freight Line Best in the Game interview. Ty Robinson. Well, Ty, short week for you guys, turning around playing on a Friday night. How's this team managed so far, the preparations for Illinois?
Yeah, the guys have done great, I think, this week, just attacking what Coach Rose asked us to do. Yesterday having practice, he kind of eased up a little bit, but it was a lot more mentally focused. And then today, it was like a regular Bloody Tuesday type of practice, full pads, going out there and getting after it.
Coach Rule has just really raved about your performance so far this season. What's gone into that for you? How are you approaching this season and this start for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just thought to myself before the season, like, this is your last kind of shot to make something happen. So, I'm just going out there, not really having any regrets, or just trying to go as hard as I can to make sure, I can help this team win.
I feel like you're just all over the place. How much do you feel settled into your role and the game and just kind of seeing things differently, I guess, now that you've got so much experience?
Yeah, another year under this defense, I mean, now it's, like the back of my hand, right? And so being able to kind of play off of what the defense that we call, and then kind of being able to adjust mid-play to what I'm supposed to be doing. So I think that's just been really big help, is just calming down and really just kind of grounding myself.
You went viral. Well, Jack Potenza went viral last week after the celebration in Colorado. And then this week you changed up the celebration. Take us through that and how much fun that was. Just kind of a picture of what you guys are on the sideline, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I mean, we were pumped. I was pumped that we blocked the field goal. I didn't even realize I knocked him over. And I just kept kind of going down the sideline, and then he ended up following me and gave me some choice words and just said, don't ever do that to me again. And then, he said he was kind of sore the next day just from falling. And so, we just kind of made a joke that we were going to just do a handshake this week. So I thought it was just funny.
Yeah, I mean, just for this coaching stuff, though, the way they celebrate you guys and how proud they are of you. I mean, how much fun is it to play for a staff like that they want to celebrate with you guys like that?
Well, I think, they're appreciative of the hard work that we put in the off season and even in practice during the week. And because us players know how much, they're putting in for game plan and stuff like that to help us succeed. So I think when they just see us go out there and just be football players, just be, it might just be the 11 guys out there, but really it's the whole team that really succeeds in that moment. So I think it's just awesome that, we all just feed off each other's energy.
Yeah, it is awesome. Well, Coach Rule and Coach White, I mean, you guys are very honest following last week's game that, you just gave up the field goal, but that there were certain areas that you didn't live up to the standard, didn't play to the standard of this defense. How has that been addressed this week? Yeah, guys are, I think being a lot more vocal, not in a way where it's like kind of like a pestering, but more of like a reminder of like, this is what we need out of this period, or this is what we need out of this drill from each other. And I think the guys have really responded well of attacking, what we hold each other accountable to. You guys have talked about wanting to be the most physical football team week in and week out. You're playing a very physical football team. So how do you guys approach that, knowing that it is going to be a physical football game? Yeah, we just got to do what we know how to do, right? I mean, and it starts in practice. And, today, everyone hates 9-on-7 and loves 9-on-7 at the same time, because it's just a run blocking drill with, with the interior guys and the box guys. So I think just, knowing our brand of football and building that confidence throughout the week just help us prepare even more for these physical type games. How ready do you feel like this team is after the 3 games that you had in the non-con to go into Big Ten play and approach this week 1-0 this week? Yeah, like you just said, it's awesome to just be able to think of it as 1-0. Like I don't think a lot of guys are too caught up on us being 3-0. This is a position that not a lot of us have been in. So, I've talked to Giff, and he's even said to me, like, listen, I've never been in this position, but, the stuff we're doing at work, so might as well just keep doing it and see how far it takes us. How excited are you for a Friday night atmosphere inside Memorial Stadium? It's going to be great having that Friday night. It takes you back to high school, Friday night lights type of deal, but now there's 90,000 fans screaming, and, the night atmosphere just adds a layer to the game, I feel like, and Illinois is also just a great team to play against. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. They've already been pretty disruptive to the crowd. What's it like for you guys out there? Is it hindering at all for the defense when they're that rocking? When I'm trying to listen and kind of catch some, like, cues from the offense, it's a little hindering. But to be honest, like, when I'm down in my stance, I don't even hear the crowd noise. It's just, I think I'm so locked in, and, I'm focusing on my breathing and focusing on my assignment that
once, a big play happens or something, then, you kind of hear it. But during the play and right before, no.
Okay, so what are the keys for the defense this week going against Illinois? And we know about their quarterback, the explosive weapons that he has. What do you guys need to do to be able to do what this defense does?
Yeah, just play to our standard. And I think, last week it was kind of like a reminder, check in to be like, hey, that's what happens when you don't play to the standard that we've held. We've got to be able to track the near hip for tackling wise, and that's for everybody. And then, just being physical, just playing our brand of football.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And that is Ty Robinson, our ODFL Best in the Game interview. All right, welcome back into the program. Ed Foley has joined us now. Coach Foley, how's it going? How's the week been for you guys?
Everything's good. The guys are working hard and getting ready for a big league game.
We heard Coach Rule saying he didn't change up too much in terms of just how you guys have gone about the schedule of this week. So I guess how has that gone from a management standpoint and getting the guys ready to go with a quicker turnaround?
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. I mean, it's a little bit more of a transition because we're playing some night games, but it's really not a whole lot different than playing a noon game on a Saturday because you're playing 15, 18 hours before that. So you can get most of the preparation done. In the same schedule. The challenge, for Matt, and he does such a great job with it, is how much do you want to, how much pads and how much do you want to go full speed and hitting. So we're looking at all that stuff, but that's him. That's his job. But we're going to get everything in and be prepared and ready to go.
Ty Robinson said today, and mentioned a couple different times, that it was a bloody Tuesday. I guess Tuesday practices are pretty physical.
Yeah, Tuesday. I mean, today's a full padded deal. So today we went out there and we're doing inside run and run down and kickoff with the pads on, and we did a kickoff drill today. So we did some things today with the pads on where the guys were banging, because if there's one day this week that you're going to do it, it'll be today. So I haven't seen the practice schedule for tomorrow, in terms of which periods are going to be live or how much of that we'll do tomorrow. But today's a physical day, and every Tuesday I think the guys kind of come out there with the mindset of we got to go, we got to get after each other and make each other better.
Okay, so 3-0 overall through the 3 games. How would you evaluate special teams play, and how do you go about it? Do you lump it all together, or do you evaluate each group differently?
No, I just try to look at each group, each person on each unit. Because we're constantly evaluating the personnel part of it, but where are we good and where do we need work? So, overall, we're not playing our best football. We have to play better. We've got to get some guys to step up. I've got to do a better job of coaching the situations and putting the guys in positions. And we've got to play better. We got to kick the ball better. We've got to snap the ball better. So we have to get better to play. The pressure for us on special teams is the offense and defense are playing at close to a championship caliber. And again, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're going to say we got to do this better, or that. But overall, we got to play better on special teams to increase the level. And we want to be able to contribute to the wins. And we want to make plays that are going to help us win the games. And we're not making enough of those plays right now.
I had asked Coach Rule one of the positives from the UNI win, and he said we didn't have to punt. I mean, we love Brian Buschini, but it's always good when we don't have to see him, right?
Yeah, right. Not punting is not a bad thing for us, I'm sure. Brian said it was the first time in his career that he didn't punt in a game.
Really?
Yeah, and he's punted. I mean, he's been punted in a lot of college games, so that was kind of interesting. But we got ready a couple times to go out there, and the offense made the first down, but. That's one aspect of the game that we need to continue, playing. But Brian is in a really good place right now, punting the football. If we did have a couple of plays that were big plays this year, we had a 61-yard net punt right before Tommy's pick 6 that got us down in that situation. That was a heck of a punt. It was great coverage by Tommy. Brian, surprised the returner by how far that ball was able to carry, and then we got a good bounce, and that was a huge play. Having a 50-yard net punt is a big deal, but a 61-yard net punt was a really big play. So, I was happy for Brian on that. And Brian's pushes himself every day, to be the best he can be, and he has confidence right now.
I love that the defensive players were quick to say, "Hey, we don't have a chance for that play without Brian Buschini's punt."
That's right, and that's complementary football. So, the offense and defense and special teams all play well together. it's really good. It's really kind of cool to watch. We had the situation on the other side where we let up a 60-yard kickoff return, and the defense comes right out and stops them. So, we needed the defense to pick us up, and they did that. And there's been a bunch of times this year where we've all picked each other up, which is, when things are going in a good direction that you're doing that. So we need to play really good complementary football. Like, we don't got to go out there and make a million plays or have a guy go out there and say, I got to make this play or that play. We all got to work together as a unit to do our job and get the ball where it needs to go. Put the ball in the right place, kick the ball in the right place, cover the kicks or the punts the right way so that, there's not any big plays that are going to change the field against us.
Sticking with Bushidi, he has handled some kickoff duties. What do you like about him in that role?
Just his maturity, and he's got he's worked so hard in the weight room. And it allows a guy, so John Hull's been doing some kickoffs for us too, and John's got a good leg. So having both of those guys kind of, work together to help push each other competitively, but also they both can kick it well enough, and that means not one of them has to go out there with the pressure of having to kick every kickoff. So I don't know how much longer we'll continue to do that, but Brian's kicking the ball off well, not the way we need it to be on an everyday basis, but he's kicking the ball well, and having John out there too has been a good thing for us.
You guys had made a couple of adjustments in the snapping with Fleggy and Witaki. How was that? How did that work out for you? Did you like what you saw out of those guys?
Yeah, I did. Both of those guys are working really hard, and doing that distribution of the two different jobs helps the guys focus on. I mean, they're always going to snap everything, but it helps focus on that one aspect of the job. So, Camden goes into the game knowing I got to be the punt guy, and Aiden goes into the game knowing I got to be the short guy, and then they start to develop relationships. But they're both with Brian because Brian's the holder and the punter, but in a different way. So it's been a good thing. It's worked out well for us so far.
How good is Brian at kind of helping navigate all that too?
He's great. Brian's great. He's obviously an older guy, married, he's a leader, and the great thing about Brian is that he's not afraid to tell you. He's not afraid to get involved and say that's not good enough, or hey, that was a really good job. So he's almost like another coach out there, but he's taken that role on really well. It's been really helpful for us because as a coach, and I've been doing this for 36 years, I can say whatever, but when it comes when it comes peer to peer, when GIF says something in a special teams meeting about somebody not doing something or somebody doing something, whatever it is, it just has a whole different impact when it's peer to peer. So we have a fair amount of that. We need more of that, but we have a lot of that going on right now, and it's really helpful.
Fleggy has a little bit of a unique story, right?
Yeah. Yep. So he came to camp last year. He was at Iowa Central, and he came to our specialist camp last year, and he did a great job. And then we had an opportunity for him to come out and see what he can do, and he. I challenged him, and we challenged each other, and said, "This is where we see this thing going." And he's done that. He's gotten. I mean, he went from like 204 pounds. He's like 223 right now, or 222 or 223. So he's gained really good weight. He dove into the weight room. He's way stronger, and he snaps the ball. I mean, he must snap the ball 200 or 300 times a day. He's got a really good approach, really good work ethic. So he's been really good to work with. How's
Tristan coming along? I know he's coming off the injury. How do you feel like he's progressing?
I don't think Tristan's 100% yet, and that when you're not, that can affect your confidence a little bit. So he's coming along. He's getting better, and he's working, and he's challenging himself to try to get better. So we work together with him and the medical people to try to put him in a good place every day. So he's not quite there yet, but he's working on it.
How important is just the continuity of that entire unit and just, the chemistry between all of those guys? Yeah,
it's important. And, it's really, especially when you're talking from the snapper to the holder to the kicker, that whole thing is like machinery. So it's got to be perfect to get everything to, especially when you start getting the kicks out past 40 or 45 yards, you need to have a great snap, great hold. Ball's got to be down. Kicker's got to see it. So those guys all got to work together in unison.
Okay, let's work at another break here. I do see a couple texts coming in. We will get those to Coach Foley coming up. Receive 1 year 0% financing on seed and crop protection when you enroll in Central Valley Ag's Go Early Seed program. Visit cvacoop.com to learn more. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hey Husker fans, Coach Rule here, thanking you for your incredible support of Nebraska football. We're working every day to bring championship football back to Nebraska. Just as important is your contribution to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. Every contribution, no matter how small, makes a big impact. Your support helps us recruit and retain top talent, bringing a winning program that can compete at the highest level. Visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEBNIL to 801-801 now.
Like Husker football fans, Public Power is uniquely Nebraskan. We're the only state in the country served entirely by public power utilities. That means we work for you, our customer owners, so you have reliable, affordable electricity to power your homes and businesses. We were there when the first farms were electrified, and we'll be there to power the technology of the future. Public Power, powering our state, empowering Husker Nation.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Jessica Coody here with Ed Foley here on our Nebraska football show. He's going to be joining us for a little bit into the 7 o'clock hour. We did have a text. It's off the screen now, but I will pull up the name here. But he was asking about IGC, Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, and the job he's done for you guys back there as punt returner.
Yeah, IGC, since I've gotten here, IGC's been a total pro. Like, he would have done some of that for us last year, when Billy was down, and even maybe alongside of Billy Kemp, but he obviously got hurt. So, but he came back like, I want this job. So then he came back in the spring. He worked at it. Like, he was actually out there before we started spring ball. Like, you could see him out there with the jugs. The weight room session would be over, and him and a couple other guys would be out there on the jugs. So it takes a lot of work to be able to track the ball as well as he does, and he's worked really, really hard at it, and he's good at it. He's taken that job and said, this is a way that I can really contribute, and really been a pro about it.
I love his demeanor on the sideline now. He's also trying to be a leader and coaching guys up and in any way he can. It seems like he's just really appreciative of the opportunity no matter what role he could play. Great dude. He's a great dude to have out there. He's like having a grown man out there. He wants to make every play, and he's out there, and he was the one hit the ground the other night, and he was like, Coach, if it bounced a certain way, I said,
listen, you got to know when not to catch him too. I said, you don't want to put the team at risk. And the play that he made on that ball was right. It was a low line drive kick that he could have never caught, and he knew how to get out of the way and stay out of the way. Because I think sometimes, you want to make a play, or you want to stop that ball from rolling. And he did that against Colorado. But it wasn't that play to be made on that point. And like a pro, like a mature man, he was like, they got us on that one. And I said, yep, that's exactly right. He said, get the next one. And that's the kind of guy he is. It's like talking to a grown man out there, and he's really good.
How hard is that job? I mean, how in the moment you don't know how it's going to go. I mean, you just had mentioned just the Buschini punt and didn't know how far it could carry, but just being able to read that, how do you go about being good back there?
Oh, it takes a lot of work, and it's not the catching. Like, there's a lot of guys that have really good hands that are not good punt returners, because you have to track the ball. And you want to come in and attack the ball from the front with your shoulder square, so you have to get in a position on the ball to see it and make the catch. So it takes a lot of work. And then you have things like lights, you have wind, you have sun, so you have a lot of factors out there that you have to be able to deal with. It literally takes thousands of catches to be really, really proficient at doing that.
Andy in Phoenix on the text line, Coach, best food in Lincoln is question number one.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Just
he said, "What's the best food in Lincoln?" You got several, right?
Yeah, you got to tell me what kind of food. But I mean, just overall, I would go if I was just going to go and say this is a big night for me, and I can go to the best. I would go to Casa Bovina right now. I love the place. There's just such a variety of great things to eat there, and that's my spot right now.
Okay, and then the second question, he said, can we just see Barney Jr. return one punt? Electric player, boy, he's special.
Yeah, and he is, and I think there's a chance we'll see him before long. He's electric, but you can see we had a kickoff return on the ground, and we're still working through him on some tracking things, and he's a guy that we've got to get on the field, and we will get him on the field, and IGC is doing a really good job with it, and we'll see where it goes. We won't make any promises, but we've identified the fact that he's really talented. Yes,
it's great that you have options in depth, right? I mean, just like anywhere, any position, that you have multiple guys you can throw back there and rely on back there.
Well, the special thing is, when Jacory watches a guy like IGC, so they're out there drilling together, so he can see, like, okay, this is what a guy looks like, who's a man who tracks it and catches it. And Jacory's done a really good job. Like, he's done a really good job of improving himself, as a tracker and a guy that can catch punts. So we'll get him. Hopefully we'll get him out there soon.
It's funny that the food question, we can't have you on without asking a food question. So I was going to ask you if you had like a bucket list, if you checked off most of the places that you wanted to get to around here.
There's so many places. I'm at the point now where it's like Casa Bovina is a good example. So if my wife says to me, hey, let's go out on Thursday night, I got a list of places that I still want to hit, and then I got Casa Bovina. So am I going to go back to one of those places, or are we going to try something new to cross it off the list? But when somebody sends me something and they say and I like the food, when they send me the food item, like this is the best whatever in Omaha or Kearney or wherever it is, then it makes my life a lot easier to go look for that item. So so I'll try that. But right now it's I'm at that dilemma food wise.
So what's your one favorite food? Is it like a hamburger, a steak, pizza? Like if you just had to pick the top number one.
Yes.
All of it.
All of that. Yeah, no, I mean, I would if it was me and I was going out and I wanted to treat myself, and I got to be careful, with how much I do that. But I like barbecue.
Yeah.
There's so many different kinds of barbecue, and I want to get to the spot. Nebraska's got really good food. And Nebraska doesn't give itself enough credit, because when I moved out here, they're like, you're coming from the Northeast or whatever. But the barbecue out here is really good. And I want to get to the point where I'm I want to go here for ribs and here for brisket. I'm not there yet, but the barbecue out here there's some really good places.
All right, I promise we'll get back to football talk on the other side of this break with Coach Foley. As a farmer challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel seed brand, you can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Hour number 2 coming up right after this.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. Proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel seedsman placed product to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Also brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers.
Dillon checking off, 12 on the play clock. Hands extended, gets the snap. Looks middle, looks over the middle, pass fired, it's caught, 5, and that's Nelson into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska! Carter Nelson from Ainsworth with his first 6 points as a cornerstone. Go right, one wide out to the near side. Emmett's the back, snap back to Raiola. Looking, holding, throws over the middle, down the middle, pass caught. That's going to be a Nebraska touchdown. Isaiah Nair finds the end zone on the pass over the middle. 13-3 Big Red. Toward the line of scrimmage, fake the handoff, roll the pocket to the near side, looking downfield as a man open downfield, but shoots it too high, and it's picked off. Intercepted Malcolm Hartzog. 10 up to the 14-yard line as Malcolm Hartzog now to the 19 as he goes and start the mashed potatoes dance. Huskers get a pick.
Here's your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, a continuation of our Nebraska football show, is Special Teams Coordinator Ed Foley kind enough to spend a few extra minutes with us here in the 7 o'clock hour. Coach, one of the things I did want to ask you about before we dive back into your current Special Teams unit, Phelan Sanford was here a couple, I guess the season opener, and I got a chance to chat with him, and just a great guy. I know you're a big fan of his, and he played for you on Special Teams, but he was saying about how when he went and, was picked up as an undrafted free agent and then was going through all the process of the training camp and all of that, and that it was such an easy transition for him because he learned how to practice here and playing for you guys, and he probably wouldn't have made it had he not learned how to do things the right way with you guys. And he was used as an example in some of the drills and stuff, but those are the kind of stories that you love to hear, I'm sure, just the guys that go on and are able to live out a dream, and give a lot of credit to you guys. Yeah,
he's such a great kid, hard worker, and he's so multifaceted in terms of what he can do on special teams. So he was a great gunner for us last year, as you know, and that's a real key to getting him. You can get into the NFL just in that position, but he played other positions. So we had him in a position where he could block a punt or hold a guy up in the punt return unit. He was the kickoff guy. He getting mad at me because I'd have him play safety because I trusted him on the kickoff. He'd be like, Coach, I can get down there and make more tackles. And I was like, dude, just listen, do this job at a high level, and it's going to. But anyway, and then as he was getting involved with some teams, some of the NFL people would call me, the NFL special teams coaches and scouts, and they'd be like, can he do this? Can he do this? Can he do this? And the answer was always yes. Yes. He can do it all, legitimately. So I remember sitting in, it was at night in the spring, and we were training him on the language of the protection of the punts, which he was not involved with because he was getting ready to go talk, and I think it was the Raiders, about playing personal protector, because they were asking, can he play personal protector? And I was like, yes, he can play personal protector, absolutely. I can do anything. So they were out there, but he was such a good gunner for them that I don't think he ended up playing a lot of personal protector. At least last time I had talked to him, he had not. But yeah, he's awesome, and those are great. It's always great. And he called me after when he made the team, and he was actually like, Coach, they're making a big mistake to put me on the practice squad. He didn't say it like that, but it was like, Coach, this is just the beginning. I'm on the practice squad, but this is just the beginning. Oh, that's I was great. Like, God bless you, man. I said, the world's yours. Go get it, bud. You can do anything, and I'm blessed that I was able to coach him for a year. So great kid. Do you have any Phelan Sanford type players on your special teams units now? Yeah, we have some guys right now that are it's probably too early to say who that guy's going to be, but there's some guys that are some second level players that are playing special teams at a high level, and if they continue to do that, they might have that that same kind of that play that Sierre made the other day on that punt. That was a Phelan type play. I mean, yeah. Tommy Hill's been making those plays at gunner for us, but that play that Sierre made the other night, I mean, he was the boundary gunner. He was getting blocked, and he came back in, stacked it, and put himself in a position to make the tackle. The guy didn't fair catch it, and he made the tackle right on the spot. It was a great punt by Brian and a really good play by him. It was a big time play, but that's the kind of play that we need to make moving forward. And we got some guys that'll do that for us.
How do you go about identifying who you want as your gunners?
It's really not that hard because they jump off the film. When they have an opportunity to do it in practice. I have guys that come in all the time and they're like, Coach, I can do this, I can do that. And I said, do you know what meritocracy is? I said, if you show it on film, like that's what leads me to believe that you can do it in the game if you can do it at practice, especially if you can do it multiple times in practice. So, like, if you want to be on the punt return team and you're playing against our punt team and you're blocking punts, I'm probably going to give you a shot to try to block a punt in the game. So it's really demonstrated ability on film to me. Like, is a guy going out there and doing his job at a high level? And gunner, there's a lot of effort involved. So who are the guys that can give relentless effort? And then there's an aspect of it's because there's some wide receiver. You want the guy that can tackle like the DB, but he releases and he can stack and it's like getting opened a little bit, with the skill set of a wide receiver. So, Ramir Johnson's done it at a high level for us, and Ramir's a running back. So, there's some guys out there that have a certain skill set that make them good at that. But they answer your question, they jump off the film. When you practice, you're looking at them and you're like, that guy wants to play gunner.
Is there, because we've seen, obviously, this coaching staff, you guys are not afraid to give guys that might be on the scout team or might be want a red shirt, but you give some opportunities. Is that something for you? It's a constant work in progress about putting the guys out there that's going to give you the best shot and perform the best, where, hey, they might be having a great week in practice, let's give them a shot in a game? Yeah,
and it's really, when you have a run of home games, that's you can the roster. You can kind of play whoever you want. But as we get into the road games and the league schedule, it'll pare down a little bit. So we're getting to the point now where we've got our core set of guys that are going to go out there and play. But yeah, we're always looking for guys in the drill work or guys that are on. Let's say they're on a scout team, and all of a sudden, there was a guy. One of the young guys blocked a punt. Yesterday, and I it's in my notes, and I don't even have to write it down. It's in my head. I'm like, okay, that guy blocked the punt. So that happens, and we're always evaluating and always trying to develop.
Couple of the rule changes this year, the iPads that you guys can utilize on the sidelines, and then the extra coaches. But let's start with the iPads. How helpful has that been for your guys? I saw, I think it was after one of maybe the blocks punt or something, your guys were all gathered up looking at it. How helpful has that been for your group? Yeah, we're gathered. I appreciate you mentioning that block punt. Sorry. It's okay. We're gathered up over there after every play. Yeah. And sometimes it's a pretty clean play, and there's it's not a lot going on in the play, a touchback or whatever. But there's pretty much every guy on the unit if they can get over there, because some of them are on the field right after that. But we're correcting and watching, with every player at every opportunity. It's a huge tool for us. I just meant more so they were very quick to go over there. What do we need to correct? You're right. Those guys, it seems like it's been a great tool for those guys. And then, you've got a couple other guys that are helping you with special teams. How helpful, especially with the special teams, when you got so many guys and so many moving parts, how helpful is that for you? Well, it's great. I mean, Josh Martin's my right-hand man. So, he and I are doing a lot of the stuff together. And, in my career, I've never had, a true, full-time assistant. Troy did it for me last year, and now Josh this year. So it's a huge to have that. And then you have, Ron Brown working with the returners, and you got other, there's a lot of other guys on the staff. Garrett McGuire coaches the gunners. He's the gunner coach, and he meets with the gunners, and he meets with the jammers. So those guys are in separate meetings at times when we can afford to do it specifically. The last thing that you want to do is be in a room, because we're coaching all 11 guys, and you're the left tackle, and I'm coaching the gunners. That's a hard learning environment for kids nowadays. So we try to break them up as much as we can and do a lot of on-field teaching. But the staff help has been tremendous. One of the words we've heard a lot, the physicality. We want to be the most physical football team in college football. How does that translate to special teams? How important is that to carry the physicality over into that phase? That's our DNA. So it's our DNA across the board. So it doesn't, if we're doing it on offense and defense, we're doing it on special teams, and we are, and that's a huge part, of what we do and how we try to attack. So. We have to execute as well. So, you have to go down there and be really physical covering a kickoff. You have to be really physical trying to stop a guy from trying to block a punt. Or, you have to be really physical if you're trying to block a field goal. So, there's a lot of things where you got to be physical, and we're going to do all we can do to be
the most physical special teams unit in the country.
As you guys enter Big Ten play, I know it's a huge emphasis for you every single week, but how critical are the special teams to be good when you get into this conference play?
I don't like to think of it any differently, but it is. I mean, if we're being honest, like and here's the deal, right? So you're 3-0 and you're playing a conference opponent, and it's awesome to be in this situation because there's many years in 36 years of doing this where you're 1-2. And you're 1-2 and you're 0-2 in the conference, and you're not out of it, but you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? But now to be in the situation where every game is important and every game is like critical to winning the conference. We love the pressure. It's not even pressure for us. It's how we operate. It's our day-to-day DNA, but like that's how we do it. But like it's great to be doing that. And special teams is a huge part of that. And I think you have to be able to put it into perspective where you practice hard enough so that when they get to the games, they're prepared, and the game in some ways is easier than the practice, or at least they're put in a situation that they've already done it. That's our goal as coaches. So, you know, but it's fun to be playing for something.
You know, one of the other big topics that's been talked about is just coach role and the roster management and the red shirts and how he goes about having those conversations. You've been with him for a long time. I'm sure there's some guys redshirting that you could also use on special teams, but how good is he in that regard, and your perspective of that just throughout the years of understanding when guys, hey, wait your turn, and you're just trust the process, and you're going to be better for it.
He's the best. I mean, he's the best at it, and he's the best at creating an environment on the team where guys, it's family. Like it's family with us on the staff, and it's family with the players, and we do the best we can to make them feel that way, so they want to be part of the program. Because now it's like, oh, you know, we want a red shirt, yeah, and oh, well, okay, fine, coach, I'm going in the portal, but we're not doing that here. We're trying to say, you know, we love you, and this is how we're going to make you. This is how we're going to get you ready for the NFL. I mean, Coach Rule's record at the places that he's been of placing guys in the NFL is outrageous. So when you look at it, you know, and you really look at his record and you look at what he's all about, he actually has a tremendous care for the guys, and his goal is to get them graduated, win a championship, and get them to the NFL. And that's what he preaches to us, and he's been talking to us about, and it's a huge part of what we do. And if you get the kids to buy into it, then when they hit adversity, whether it's redshirting or an injury or whatever, you know that you have somebody with their arms around you, as opposed to somebody who's just, you know, looking to use you and get rid of you. And I think that honestly happens at some places, where places are saying, yeah, as long as you're playing well and you're helping us win right now, we'll take care of you. But as soon as you're not, you got to go in the portal. That's not what we're doing. Yeah,
great stuff there. Okay, just a couple more for you. Matchup with Illinois, Friday night game, Big Ten play, and I know it's 1-0 this week. What are the keys? What do you guys need to do in this matchup to be able to make it 4-0?
Well, we've got to do our job. We've got to contain their returners. You know, they've gotten some big kickoff returns and punt returns, so we've got to take care of those. We've got to put the ball through the uprights. So I would say coverage for us, like, without saying we got to do everything, because, you know, the standard answers, we've got to do everything, we got to execute. But like, we've got to cover the units, the punts and kickoffs, and we've got to put the ball through the uprights. Those are, you know, with our short focus this week, that's what we're working on, and working to try to get those things better.
400th sellout that'll be celebrated on Friday night. I know the atmospheres have been amazing, but for you to be a part of that and to see Husker Nation show up for you guys, what does that mean to you guys as a program, as a staff?
This place is incredible. Like, it's humbling. When, you know, that Colorado game, and I was sharing with you off the air, like, you know, I went to the Tennessee South Carolina game, and I worked my way up from like Williams College and Penn and some of these other places where you'd be lucky if there was 500 people there. But like, it's a big time atmosphere, and the emotion, you could literally feel the emotion of the crowd on the sideline, and it's kind of like a little bit of pressure, to be honest with you. I'm like, man, these people are crazy about this place. We better get this right. Like, so it's great, and we welcome that part. We love that, but it's palpable what that crowd was like against Colorado. It was a great crowd against you and I, but it was a big time crowd in that game.
You guys need another big one coming up on Friday night.
Huge. It's a huge game. Let's go. Let's go, Nebraska Nation. Show out.
Love it. Coach Foley, as always, such a pleasure chatting with you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, we got to get to a break here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now get 1.9% financing on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. You're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Drives us, Sid Dillon.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska honors Nebraskans' outstanding teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator at huskers.com/touchdown for teachers. Appreciate Ed Foley coming in and stopping by and chatting some special teams with us. Again, changing the schedule up a little bit because we are going to be on the air tomorrow night with the huge matchup with Nebraska Volleyball taking on Stanford. We'll be on the air for that one. So always enjoy chatting with Coach Foley. And for as much fun as we have on the air, it's also great to chat with him even during commercial breaks. He's such a great guy. This whole staff is just so genuine and down to earth, and they are great people. So always love chatting with Coach Foley. Okay, so we're going to keep talking Husker football and dive into a little bit of breaking down the win over UNI and maybe a little bit of a preview. We had a chance to sit down with Jeremiah Sirles as a part of this week's Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza. And your kiddos had a time on Saturday night.
They did. They had so much fun. It was my daughter's first game. My son, it was his second game, and they were just all day long. We did the tailgating scene. We got to go into the champions area. We had a friend there. Shout out Randy Haas, the man. He let us go in, and, you know, from just eating the snacks and the hot dogs and the atmosphere and wanting the stickers to put on their cheeks to, you know, it's weird to say, but I got, like, weirdly emotional at the beginning of the game, like, seeing them as, like, we're doing the claps and they're going to Go Big Red chant and the Husker Power chant, and I just had this, like, kind of like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. Like, I started my career here, and I was here for the 300th sellout playing on that field, and here we are 99 sellouts later, and I'm here with my two kids. Like, it was a really weirdly emotional, but so much fun. They made it all the way to the light show in the fourth quarter before we had to go. They were super upset there was no drone, so I don't know what's going on with that. I was promised a drone show. They're super upset about that, but they had so much fun. They can't wait to go back. The first thing my daughter asked me when we got back at 10:30 at night was, can we go back tomorrow? I was like, sorry, honey, we only got a few more left.
Aw, a little technical difficulty with the drones, but all plans are they'll be back this weekend or this Friday night, and they got a special show planned for the 400th sellout. So sorry that your kids missed it, but you'll just have to bring them back so they can see it the next time.
They'll be back. Don't you worry.
I thought it was funny that they were like 10:30 at night. Can we go back tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, she was ready. I mean, the whole way home, she was like, I love it. I want to go back. I want to play football. I was like, oh, that's sweet. But no, honey, maybe Oliver. Maybe we can go cheer on Oliver.
You had sent Greg and me a tweet about Dion talking to a little kid about training their kids to love Nebraska or hate Colorado. I don't know, whatever it was that he said. But you basically are proving him, right? You're training your kids to love the Huskers.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. I mean, it's not a hard thing to show something that you love deeply with all of your heart, and then to share that with your kids and to have them see what it means and the amount of people that were there and how people were walking up to them like, oh, you're such a cute Husker fan. Is this your first game? And I mean, I can't even count how many people were just so friendly and so welcoming to them for their first game. And Aylin got to the point where she was telling everyone it was her first game because everyone kept asking about it. And they're like, oh, have so much fun, honey, and the whole bit. And yeah, I mean, Deion can be like, oh, yeah, you know, they come to see us. Shut up, Deion. No one's coming to see you. Everyone's coming here to see the Huskers. Everyone's coming here. When there was a 4-win team, there was 90,000 here. When we're a 10-win team, there's going to be 90,000 here because of the love for the Huskers that instills at a very little age.
Preach. Preach.
Hey, I'll get my soapbox about that all day.
Okay, well, let's dive into it. What were your biggest positives that you took away from the third win in a row, and again, 3-0 for the first time since 2016?
I mean, we're going to keep talking about this kid, but 15, holy cow, man. I mean, what he was able to do and throw the football down the field. And honestly, my favorite throw of that entire game, it came on maybe the first or the second drive. And I got to sit next to Rex Burkhead. He got inducted to the Husker Hall of Fame. We went to the ceremony, and we were sitting together at the game. And it was a very minuscule 8-yard throw that no one really probably thought anything about. But it was this perfect throw up over the linebackers, but the ball gets down before it gets to the safeties with the guy in between. And it's an incredibly hard throw. It's an NFL-style throw of up and over, drop it in the pockets where only your receiver can get it with perfect touch. And me and Rex both looked at each other like, did you just see that? Like, that's a throw I watched Josh Allen make. And he's like, that's a throw I watched Tom Brady make. Right? Like, those are the type of throws that he's putting on the field, of those touch passes and the arm talent that we continue to talk about. And then to press it down the field and have a guy in your face and roll out. He is going to give us a chance in every game. I can't say enough great things about him, but I just love the poise and the confidence that he came out with coming off a big week, coming off a big emotional win against CU, and then to come out here and handle business like it's just another day at the office. That's a level of maturity that I'm not used to seeing from an 18-year-old. Yeah, there are two things I think that impressed me the most about him. And I think, you know, again, as a true freshman, and Coach Roll had actually brought this up too in the TV show recording about, you know, how he's spreading the ball around. So I feel like maybe there might be times you get locked in on one guy, but I mean, how many times at 3 different games, and we're calling different guys, a lot of different guys' names in every single game. I mean, it was Carter Nelson, and it's been Ja'Cory Barney, Isaiah Nair, Jamal Banks. I mean, you can go down the list. He's so comfortable throwing the ball and getting so many different guys involved. Yeah, and that's just taking what the defense gives you. I mean, that's not having to be locked in, and it speaks a ton to the wide receivers coaching and the tight ends coaching and all those guys understanding that the ball can come to you at any time. You may be the second option or the third option on this route concept, but if they jump the route and do a thing, this quarterback's going to get through his progressions and get the ball to you. So be ready, stay ready, and then we'll be able to scheme things up because they'll never be able to get a bead on who's getting the football. And to have the high-level IQ to be able to do that as an 18-year-old is unbelievable, because the jump from high school to college is light years, right? I mean, the jump from college to NFL is even way more light years, and you're seeing all the poor rookie quarterbacks they haven't thrown a touchdown yet, right? That's big boy football. But the jump that he made from this time last year playing Friday Night Lights in a high school field in Arizona to in front of 90,000 people against college level, I hate that my computer does that, against college level type players, it's just really fun to watch, and this offense is clicking and rolling, and if we can continue to get the run game moving where it needs to be, we're going to be a very complete offensive football team. So, and I know, you know, again, it's a full football team, and Dylan's the first to tell you that it is more than just about me, but I think we've seen that he's certainly special. But what I've noticed just through 3 games on the sideline and seeing him interact with his teammates and, you know, just how he's handled his business is how well respected he is and how well liked he is by this football team. I mean, and it's not just the offensive side of the ball, it's the defense. I watched him have a very long conversation with Jamari Butler sitting on the sideline last week, and just the interaction with Ty Robinson. And so, and those guys just rave about Dylan. And you've been a part of a lot of different teams, have a lot of different quarterbacks. You know, I've
covered teams that have had a lot of different quarterbacks. There's just such a difference when the quarterback is that well liked from top to bottom by a football team.
That well liked and that young.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're young, you don't have a lot of respect walking into the door. Respect is earned, not given. And Raiola obviously walked in as the top nation recruit, highest recruit we've ever had. That's all great. But once you walk through those doors into that locker room, you have to earn every bit of that. And from the moment he got here in January to where he's at now, just shows that week in, week out, day out, he's done everything right. Because if you come in and you're screwing around in winter workouts, or you're not showing up, or you're showing up late, or you're kind of being too big for your britches or whatever, it's going to be really hard to earn that love and that respect from your teammates. But to see the way that he interacts with the fifth-year seniors or the sixth-year seniors, the Van Wilder colleges forever, and to see the way that everyone interacts back with him as their leader, it's the behind-the-scenes stuff that none of us will ever see as to what has earned that. And if he could do that as an 18-year-old, it's only going to continue to get better and better as he gets older. And it's no secret, it's hard to win without a great trigger man. And I think everyone on the team saw what Dylan could do, seen what he can do through the first 3 weeks here, and knows that he is a great trigger man. And so we want to rally behind this guy because we will go as far as he will take us. And when you have 11 starters on offense and 11 starters on defense that rally behind that guy, and then you add the other 100 teammates around him and the coaching staff, that's how great players lead great teams.
Great stuff. Okay, let's talk about the offensive line because, right before the game, the availability report came out and listed as unavailable was Micah Mazuka, and you are a big fan of his. You have raved about the job that he's been able to do and what he provides to that offensive line. Henry Lutovsky steps in and gets the start. He's a guy that's got a lot of experience, has been around, certainly, and has been a part of this program. But I guess, first of all, overall, how'd you evaluate the O-line and how Henry did stepping in for Micah?
Yeah, I thought Henry did a very nice job, and that's exciting to see, the development of a player that came in and has gotten better every year and stepped into a starting role this week. I know it was Northern Iowa, but I thought he played very solid. Up and down the board, I thought everyone across the line played a very solid football game, and Turner Corcoran especially, a guy that we were really concerned about that position when Teddy Prohaska got hurt and kind of what was going to happen and go from there. And he just continued to have another rock-solid game out there at left tackle. And, hey, I think he has a lot of confidence moving in. But it's really hard to not see Micah out there because watching Micah through the first 2 weeks, I loved it. He's a road grader. He's a mauler. He's a tone setter up front. And I was really excited through his first 2 performances. And so I'm wishing that kid nothing but the best. I hope he can get whatever he does need to get handled and get back because I think he's going to play a big role in this offensive line success and what they can do running the football, especially. We struggled to run the ball at times, or we didn't get a chance to run the ball as much as we would like to. And I do think a piece of it is because we were missing a very big right guard that just can move people out of the way.
And that was Jeremiah Sirles as a part of this week's Sideline Slice, presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Huskers. As always, we were pretty lengthy in our conversation. We never can get it in a quick enough time. I don't feel like we probably drag it out, but hey, we enjoy talking Husker football, especially on Victory Tuesdays, Victory episodes. But I have had a day. I'm going to apologize. It's been pretty crazy, so I have not posted it yet. I will post it first thing in the morning so you can listen to that full episode on our podcast platforms and our Huskers YouTube channel. So again, you can check that out first thing tomorrow morning. Public power is uniquely Nebraskan. We are the only state served entirely by public power utilities. We work for you, providing reliable, affordable electricity to power your lives. Public power, powering our state, empowering Husker Nation. All right, got to get to another break here on Sports Nightly. We're back with more coming up after this.
Like Husker football fans, public power is uniquely Nebraskan. We're the only state in the country served entirely by public power utilities. That means we work for you, our customer owners, so you have reliable, affordable electricity to power your homes and businesses. We were there when the first farms were electrified, and we'll be there to power the technology of the future. Public power, powering our state, empowering Husker Nation.
It's time again for some Nebraska Farm Facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you get.
Call 402-391-2336.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Tune in to the Team Jack Radiothon presented by the Home Agency on September 26. Your donation will support research to find treatments for children battling brain cancer. Visit teamjackfoundation.org to donate. We had a question on the text line from John in Kansas. Will the East Stadium ever be able to see the drone show? So I've asked, and unfortunately due to FAA regulations, where it's situated or where it is positioned right now is where it's going to have to stay, just because there are just certain regulations when it comes with drones and flying it over people and all of that, and the air flight regulations, all of that good stuff. So unfortunately it's going to be where it is, but I'm told that there's going to be a really cool drone show that is going to be surrounded around the 400th sellout. So it should be another great fourth quarter light show coming up tonight. What's cool though, I understand that the drones, and it's a fun thing to watch, and we always post. The social media team does such a great job of posting different perspectives and videos of it. But I love that it's not just the drones. There's a lot of different things that are involved with the whole production of it. So it's always cool to see the different teams' reaction to it. And we heard a couple of the Colorado players saying how awesome it was, the atmosphere. I saw the UNI cheerleaders had one of them posted about it on her social media, and it went viral. So it's definitely one of a kind. So I apologize you can't see it, but unfortunately due to FAA regulations, it's positioned where it has to be positioned. Okay, here's What's on Tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. We will not be on the air for Sports Nightly tomorrow night because we've got a massive volleyball matchup coming up inside the Devaney. We've got number 5 Nebraska versus number 2 Stanford, 7 o'clock. We will be on the air with John Baylor, Lauren Cook West, starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. And then another big one for Husker volleyball coming up on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. versus number 4 Louisville on the road there. Soccer's got a big one on Thursday night at number 5 Michigan State, 5 o'clock there, and it's on the Big Ten Network. And then Sunday at Michigan. And then as far as our game day broadcast coming up on Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff there, but we will be on the air starting at 3 o'clock with Husker Game Day with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning. So lots going on, busy weekend, but it should be fun. So speaking of the, John just replied. He said free runs is for the East Stadium. I will pass that along, John. I will send that to the people that be and see if we can get something for you guys over there. But I like that suggestion. So Emily Eman, who does, fantastic job covering NCAA volleyball for the Big Ten Network. She's on ESPN, but she put out this tweet tomorrow. We talked about the Nebraska matchup with Stanford, but it is just a huge day tomorrow in NCAA volleyball. She posted this lineup. She said, Wednesday might single-handedly be the best non-con slate ever in NCAA women's volleyball. So Stanford, Nebraska. Then you've got number 1 Pitt versus Penn State, number 3 currently in the rankings. Penn State is undefeated. That's at 7 o'clock. It's on the ACC network. And then you've got Louisville, number 4 Louisville against number 11 Kentucky, also at 6 o'clock Eastern. And then you've got number 8 Texas against number 20 Baylor at 8 o'clock. So lots of good volleyball on tomorrow all night, including the Huskers matchup. So I pulled the rankings. Of course, you got number 1 Pitt, number 2 Stanford, 3 is Penn State, 4 is Louisville, 5 Nebraska, 6 Purdue, 7 Wisconsin, 8 Texas, 9 Creighton, and then 12 Oregon. So all those Big Ten teams in the top 15. But Penn State is 8-0, and as we mentioned, they're at Pitt on Wednesday. But then they also open up their Big Ten. Their Big Ten opener is at Purdue. So Purdue is one of the unbeaten teams, and so is Penn State. So if for some reason they're both unbeaten by the time they play, which, again, Penn State's got a big one against Pitt coming up on Wednesday, but one of those teams will fall. Emily also did the research here, and she said, so the last week of non-conference play, and there are 16 teams still unbeaten in NCAA volleyball. In the ACC, there's 3, Syracuse, Stanford, and Pitt. In the Big Ten, there's 4, Michigan, Purdue, Penn State, Washington. Big 12, there's 2, Arizona, Kansas. SEC, Texas A&M, and then there's Tennessee Tech, UConn, South Dakota State, UT Arlington, East Carolina, San Jose State. So 16 unbeaten teams, but we're going to see a few of those eliminated this week as there are matchups there. But again, just the parity with NCAA volleyball this season has just been fantastic. I know Terry Pettit put out a tweet about it the other day, but it has been amazing to see just the growth of the sport and how many competitive battles there are, and that it is expanding beyond the Big Ten, and there are some really some incredible matchups that are exciting to be able to watch before you even get into conference play. Sam in Omaha said, John Cook is scheduling a gauntlet. I like it. Yeah, this team, we hear all the time about, they're not afraid to schedule because they got to prepare. He says how a lot of times it's harder to win a Big Ten title than it is a national title just because of the Big Ten and the caliber of play night in and night out. So I think this team, with so many people coming back and the experience, felt like he could really challenge them and prepare them. And then, you had the opener at Louisville where the Final Four is going to be, so you get a chance to get an experience there as well. So, but a big one coming up tomorrow night, and so that will bump us off the air, but cannot wait. It is going to be rocking, and Huskers coming off a really good weekend. They played really well. I know Coach Cook was really pleased. We had Jordan Larson on for the dig. She really raved about the approach that the team had over the weekend, and so we'll see if they can carry it over into a huge matchup coming up tomorrow night. Okay, going to work in our final break, but coming up next, we're back to wrap up the show. Appreciate those texts coming in on our Sports Nightly hotline presented by Woodhouse. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Tune in to the 12th annual Team Jack Radiothon presented by the Home Agency on September 26 to raise funds for childhood brain cancer research. Childhood brain cancer is a devastating disease affecting 5,000 children each year. Current treatments are over 40 years old and leave children with lifelong deficits. Team Jack is working to change this. Become a champion for a cure for just $20 a month. Every dollar counts towards discovering new treatments and ultimately saving young lives. Visit TeamJackFoundation.org to donate. Your contribution matters more than ever.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now get 1.9% financing on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. So talked a lot about a volleyball matchup kicking us off the air coming up tomorrow night. So John Baylor, Lauren Cook-West will be on the air. We will be back on Thursday night. Coach Cook will have his volleyball show from 6 to 7, and then we will have an hour of Sports Nightly from 7 to 8, and we will have our pick segment. And so I did want to update because we ran out of time yesterday. We always like to update. The guys in the chat always play along with us and have their picks. So we usually like to pick or pass along their standing as well. So the week winners for the chat picks, Mike went 9-1, Crypto went 9-1, Justin 8-2, Shane 8-2, Ethan 8-2, Corn 8-2, Joseph 8-2, Dries 8-2, Sandy 8-2. Wow, this is a good week. How about that? 9-1, Duke. That's impressive. Shout out. So standings, Shane is leading. Looks like the overall standings 31-6. That's impressive. Joseph and Corn and Mike are overall 30-7. So we will give our updated standings. Duke, you picked last week for the students, right?
Yeah, me and Camden did. Not too bad, but stuff to work on, and we'll get it back next time.
Hey, from what I can recount, I think you guys did pretty solid. Y'all were, I believe, the overall leaders in the standings. So, but again, we will dive into all of that on Thursday night after the Coach Cook's coaches show. So that should be fun. And Sirles, I think, actually had a good week. We always like to give him a hard time. So, but yeah, and then also we did have a question. I believe it might have been in the chat, maybe the text recently, and I did not get to it. But when is the next AD show? Troy Dannon is scheduled to be on Tuesday. So again, following this weekend, so a week from tonight, he should be on, and we'll be able to talk all things Husker Athletics with Troy Dannon on Tuesday. So, yeah, I think that's about it on our updated scheduling. So, but yeah, we will be back on Thursday, and had a couple questions about Greg. Greg's doing all right. He is just take a few nights off with the quick turnaround. So we will hopefully hear back from him on Thursday. So yeah. Appreciate you guys thinking about him and keeping him in your thoughts and prayers. I know he appreciates it. But that's going to do it for us here on this edition of our Husker Football Show and Sports Nightly. Duke, thank you. You were here with us all night. Appreciate you steering the ship for us. Hey, you're going as a student to the game on Friday night. The student section has been incredible. They have been in there. You have to line up like 12 hours before to get one of those front row seats, but they have been awesome. So hopefully they set the tone again. Mentioned it's going to be a special night inside Memorial Stadium for the 400th sellout. The Huskers have won the 100th, 200th, and 300th sellouts, by the way. So again, thanks to Duke for helping us out here. Thanks to Ed Foley, and have a great night. We'll see you Thursday. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Live reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you get.
Call 402-391-2336.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Still using that old, outdated office phone system? You need better. At Hamilton, we offer solutions for the modern office. Whether you have an office full of staff or your employees work remotely and are on the go, seamless call handling is important. Elevate your communication and connect seamlessly with clients and staff with Hamilton Business Phone System.